Well, I want to go off script a little bit here.
Go ahead, man.
And we only have a minute. I mean, I kind of wanted to go around the world with you on some foreign policy stuff. But, I mean, we could talk about Nicaragua. We could talk about Yemen. We could talk about Israel and Russia and different things. But maybe what's combining sort of all those as far as like where our foreign policy is right now with all the problems that are showing up in the world. What are we doing wrong, and where should we be putting some of our efforts in those areas?
I think the single biggest mistake we're making is based on the single biggest accomplishment of the Obama administration. Obviously, Trump likes to anything Obama did, he likes to reverse, no matter what it is. If Obama, had the office painted yellow, he's going to paint it green. Just so it's not Obama. Specifically, what I'm referring to is the Iran treaty. I think that Obama's greatest accomplishment in office, we will see, assuming it remains, and the greatest lasting effect is going to be the Iran treaty, because Iran was always an incredibly gifted and incredible culture in this world. They were always a stabilizing force in the Middle East. We unstabilized them when we went and
probably the most westernized.
Yeah, the most westernized. Yes, exactly. We unstabilized them in the 50s when we the CIA assassinated their elected president. And what's happened ever since is now they brought in, with the revolution, they brought in a theocracy, and it created the whole movement of theocracies throughout the Middle East. It was a terrible, terrible mistake we made. Now what this treaty has done is it's recognized that the Iranian people, they want to go back to a more westernized, less theocratic society. They're moving in that direction. Their election of their own president showed that they wanted a moderate, and they wanted to move back toward getting back into the international community. That's what this treaty did. It started. No one is saying Iran is perfect or doesn't have its issues with Israel and with some of the other areas there, but it was moving them gradually back into the international community. You have a stable Iran who actually becomes, again, an ally in the Middle East. You're going to see a dramatic shift of what occurs in the Middle East. It would be dramatic, and that's the direction that treaty is going to take us. I don't say it's going to happen in the next 2 years or 5 years or 10 years, but you keep that treaty in place. You bring Iran back into being a democracy, bring them back into the international community. I think that would have the single greatest effect on international affairs that we could do. The Trump administration's desire to end that, I think, is going to be devastating.
As we are going off script, why not? What is the proper role? I mean, I've thought about this a lot. I enjoy history, and I think about that. I mean, America is obviously an extremely powerful country, the most powerful country on the face of the earth. And what is the role for Americans to nudge other nations in directions that we want? I mean, you say that the people of Iran are moving towards a more moderate form of government, a more moderate society. What if they were moving in the other direction? I mean, is it our responsibility to intervene in someone else's government?
I think the short answer to that is no. I do think, though, however, that the military serves essentially for us. Our military and the Defense Department serves 2 and possibly 3 purposes. The first purpose is if we're attacked, or to prevent from being attacked. The second purpose is, I do believe that the military and we have to intervene in instances of genocide. When we see just countries and people being wiped off the map, I think it is our social responsibility, our moral responsibility, to use our military, along with Britain and France and other countries, to step in and take some responsibility for helping to stop genocide. Those are the 2 things I think are definitive with the military. The third thing is a little more dicey, and it goes, I think, directly to your question. Should we be using our military to go into countries and actually promote America, promote our values, by doing things that actually help, building highways, helping to build mosques, helping to build schools, using the money. I mean, almost like a Marshall Plan.
Marshall Plan, yeah.
Yeah, a modern version of that. I think that becomes more of an interesting question. I tend to fall on the side of yes, but I also understand that we cannot be the world's policeman. We can't just take care of the entire world when we have so many things here that we need. We need Medicare for all. We need to be paying much more on our educational system. So while I think there is a role for that in the military, I'm not sure how far we can go with it.
What do you think about what's going on in North Korea now? I mean, does the Trump administration deserve some credit? I mean, there's certainly some people, even progressives and people on the left, that have said, well, maybe there is a little credit due for Trump being a bully, standing up to a bully, and maybe he's wrought some miracle here and actually is getting Kim to the table. Has his tactics worked a little bit?
We're dealing with a dictator who is so crazy that we'll never know.
What about Kim?
I set you up for that. We just don't know. But yeah, I mean, that is a distinct possibility. When you're dealing with somebody who is as unstable as Kim, what Trump did by calling him names and, sort of resorting to his level, it may have had an effect. It very well may have. Yeah. I don't know that we know the answer to that because, like I said, he's too unpredictable, and he's just, I think the word psychotic might be in line there. So we don't know.
I was having a conversation the other day about this. So Kim might be playing this long game of saying, well, I'll give up my nukes and I'm going to get $50 billion of aid from America and $25 billion from China and $50 billion from Japan, of which he's going to personally get 20% of every dollar, right? So I'm thinking he's doing the math. He's saying, well, let's say it's 15 or 20 billion for me. Okay, I'll do that. Sure. My nukes are worth that. Why not? I mean, it's probably...
It wouldn't be surprising.
It wouldn't be that surprising, right?
That's a precedent. I mean, when you have other countries looking at, being nuclear countries and
that's an excellent point.
What they will get for it. So it was a strategy, and, it was different than the Iran strategy, and who will get the better deal, So
that's a good question.
Interesting.
What kind of precedents we set for that is scary, and how we're going to have to deal with that with other countries moving forward.
No doubt.